I get asked the question all the time, should I be on one of those apps that help guests find my food truck? And I tell everybody, yes, you got to be on all of them. Today, I'm going to be talking with Nick Spindel. He is the CEO of Where's the Food Truck? And that is a location app, but he's going to do a little bit of a deep dive into what all his app can help do for a food truck owner. So on the other side of the introduction music, you're going to hear our conversation just pick right up because we had a great one. Stick around. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business.
Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Virtuo Pup, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
All the food trucks need some type of a leg up to help them, especially the new folks. We had a conversation this morning with someone, actually 2 different people, saying that the industry is oversaturated. And that's not the case. That's an excuse why I'm not busy because there's too many other food trucks. And that's just not the case.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can look at a food court and see that if there were such a thing as oversaturation, then food courts wouldn't work, and
exactly
with multiple restaurants or concepts wouldn't work. You just have to differentiate yourself, figure out how to market yourself better than the next guy, or just as good as the next guy often works.
I mean, you can actually have a tie race on marketing, and then what wins people over is your food and your service.
Yeah. So we, I come from the restaurant industry. Food and beverage. I mean, we're hospitality, right? Like we provide an experience. One thing has to stand out, whether it's your food. If it's not your food and that's average, then make your experience stand out. If it's not your experience and that's average, then make the service stand out. Something has to stand out. If you're average across the board, then you're going to get average results for your business.
Exactly. My dad used to say that average is the cream of the crap, and nobody wants to be in that pile of crap. You want to be above it. You got to work really hard on some aspect of your business. Obviously, you can't fire on all cylinders and hit everything perfectly, but you got to hit something well. Otherwise, you're just run of the mill, and people will impulse buy occasionally, but they're not going to be loyal and come see you frequently.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about the industry that you're in right now, as far as just the food truck finder location apps. Just talk about that briefly, and then go into specifics on what your app does that makes it better than the rest.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think for a food truck finder app, which is really our premise, that is social media, on steroids, right? People try and use social media. And I guess it started with Twitter 15 years ago now, when the food truck industry really started to grow. They would use Twitter to say, hey, this is where I am and this is what time I'll be there. When the algorithms started taking more effect, and when it was Facebook and Instagram, and you're hitting a larger audience across the world at random times, you kind of really lose the edge there that provides. And you're counting on people looking for you rather than being able to actively tell them something that's important. And for our businesses, for most businesses in general, unless you're e-com, you need local customers, and you need local customers when you're open. If you're not open at midnight and you get to somebody at midnight, they're thinking about buying something at midnight, doesn't do you any good. So really, on the whole, the Food Truck Finder app in general is good for sharing exactly where you are and when you're going to be there, without all the static that is social media or websites and the internet as a whole. It's one central, easy location, easy tech solution for a customer to find you at. What we do that takes it one farther step than everybody else, and we've done this from the start, is when you mark open, or when you set your future hours and we automatically flip you to open, we send out push notifications to everybody that's nearby. So again, instead of waiting passively for somebody to find you or to know that your business even exists, or to be cruising through Facebook and find that you're open and, oh, but you're across town, you're too far away, or you're right nearby, but it was yesterday that you posted that. We shake people, through their phones, but we grab them by the necks and we go, hey, we're open right here, right now. This is like you're perfect. And these are people that download an app to find a food truck, right? So you couldn't get a better potential customer than somebody that's on this app. WTF, that's our number one. Whatever you're doing, we're trying to get you more customers through those efforts.
So let's talk just a little bit about if somebody's interested in the app, how do they go about getting their truck listed?
Yeah, download the app, search for WTF. We have 2 up there on the app stores, customer one and the vendor one. So make sure you find the vendor one, you download it, and there's a big button at the bottom that says get started. Just click that, get started. It brings you to a intake form that we just collect some basic info for your profile. We review and make sure that everybody that's signing up is a food truck or trailer or pop-up tent, somebody that's relevant to our industry and that our users might be interested in. But it takes like 60 seconds to send us your info, and you're done. We'll create your profile. We have a couple of different accounts. The first type of membership starts at free. So, use it, mark your locations, bring in new customers. We want you to benefit and win from our user base and add your own customers onto there so that you can get them back more often. We want you to do that, and then you'll find that value, and then you'll start asking us, what else can you do? What else do you offer?
Well, let's talk about the different tiers then. So you said you have a free tier. Do a lot of people start with the free tier and then move up, or do they just jump right into the paid stuff?
We get most people that start at the free. That's really our focus. We want you in there. We want you winning. After a couple months, we find a lot of people upgrade. We do get some that are just like, look, I recognize the value. Give me that premier membership, which is that first step up. That one gives you access to a couple of extra features in the app. You can send push notifications for deals, daily specials. You can promote upcoming events. You get premier labels all across the website and our apps that say, hey, you're a premier food truck, you're a premier vendor on WTF. And we have some embeddable code. If you have a website, you can add our map filter to your food truck right onto your website. So a lot of people find value in that. We also offer products and services for like operations such as graphic design, print work, and all kinds of stuff, anything that you might need as an operator. And our paid members get discounts on those things. We offer that to everybody at great prices, but the discounts are nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's shopping for a deal.
Yeah.
One thing that you mentioned that I had not heard before, and I like the idea, is that you said you can add it to your own website as a food truck owner, and it's filtered just to your truck?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can filter it to any amount of trucks. So if it's an association and they say, hey, we want just our members to be listed here on that map, I can filter it to the members. But you as a food truck operator, we can filter it just to you. So you're the only one that shows up when you mark open or set your location. Not only will it update to the app, but it updates to your website. So anybody going there, a lot of food truck operators that have websites will put like Google Maps, embedded map on there, but then you got to update that address every time. And,
right.
It's easy enough, but really, do you want to spend 5 minutes updating that every day when you can just tap a button and it hits, hits your website, it hits this app, it sends out push, all the different things from one button. Like, let's make it easy.
Absolutely. I always like to say that, a food truck owner, somebody that's in the food service industry in general, has about 71 minute tasks to do every hour. So something always falls to the wayside. And sadly, reminding your guests that, hey, we're open is one of those things that gets forgotten. And you said it's automatic with your app. You can actually set it and schedule it ahead of time.
Yeah. So what I love to tell people is that in the mornings when you're like drinking your cup of coffee or doing your prep work or, rolling around in bed, scrolling through different posts or whatever, just hop onto the app, set your location for the day and say when you're going to open, when you're going to close, and we'll do everything else automatically.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like the idea of having your website only showing your truck. That is just such a useful feature to me. So that's a part of the free tier. I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah, that one's part of the free tier.
Okay, awesome. That's fantastic. Just in general, how many cities are you guys in that have a really vibrant use of your app?
We have a focus in 4 markets. So that's really where we're targeting user acquisition and food truck pickup and scheduling opportunities, catering, for all of our SEO and stuff like that. But we have food trucks. If you're familiar with Montana, there's a Flathead Lake around Kalispell. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but we have sometimes the food truckers in Kalispell are so active that we get more user engagement there than in our target markets. Biloxi, Mississippi, right there on the Gulf Coast. We have a couple, 2-3 food trucks out there that really grew that area. Panama City, Destin, they really grew their own markets just by sharing this with other food trucks in their market and telling all their own customers. And I look at the hot spots that we can create based off of user activity, and I'm amazed sometimes. Like our key markets are Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Colorado Springs, and Denver, right? But, looking at our hotspot maps, you'll see way over here, Destin, Panama City, the whole Gulf Coast is lit up. Way up here in Montana, I'm like, what is going on over here? Whether our focus is on your city or not doesn't really make that impact. Sure, it helps, right? But if you're using the app, if you're telling your customers about it, and if you're telling other food truckers, because it's a platform thing, it's a marketplace, more activity you get, the more options you give to our users or your customers, right? Oh, hey, here's another food truck. In case you're closed on a Monday, here's somebody else you can find on a Monday. That's really the key.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I live in the area you mentioned, in Panama City, Destin. I live up on I-10, so I'm not in either one of those cities, but I can get to both of them in about, 40, 45 minutes. And I do follow a lot of the food trucks in our area, and I see their notification about your app on their websites or on their links. That's really amazing. I just didn't realize that our area had that much focus. I knew there were a lot of food trucks, but I certainly didn't realize it would be enough to be number one on your app. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was surprised. I don't know what's going on around there. I mean, I'm from New Orleans, so I love that area, right? I never imagined that a beach city would have so many food trucks in it, and so many that all picked up on, normally it's one really lead food truck operator. This guy that has a lot of influence, talks a lot, really tries to organize weekly events, and then starts saying, oh, hey, by the way, let's use this. Dothan, Alabama, too. We got a lot of food trucks in Dothan, Alabama. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it only takes a couple food trucks to really make an impact on our app and really drive more business.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Dothan, because Dothan is due north of Panama City. It's on 231, which is just a straight shot going north into Alabama. And what we find, especially, with us being on the coast, anytime that there's, spring break and stuff, there's a bunch of people that come, but a lot of people in that part of Alabama go straight south because they can get straight to the beach, in a little over an hour, because Alabama only has a small coastline, a real teeny tiny section has coastline. The whole rest of Alabama is, north of Florida. So if they want to go to the beach, they got to come through Florida. And Panama City is a big destination. So is Destin. So it makes sense for Dothan to have that kind of popularity, because it's kind of expanding the market area. Because if I'm not mistaken, they refer to our television viewing area as Dothan, Panama City.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just one big, what do they call it? Market dominance or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I love the overlap, right? Typically, our users and our food trucks, right? The customers and the food trucks on our app, they're in one market. But when we can get the customers from Dothan happen to go down for spring break for a week, and they're getting push notifications from food trucks out there. Now their focus is going to be on partying probably, right? Vacation time, hanging out on the beach, but they might go, oh, wow, that's cool. I've never heard of that food truck. I'm here. I got to eat anyway. Let's go check it out. Now you got a completely new customer from a completely different market. I mean, that's cool.
Oh, that is. And you make a really good point there. If a guest in a different city has downloaded that, when they go to a different city for vacation, they're going to get notifications because of the geolocation. Yeah.
Yep. It's just based on wherever their phone is and wherever the food truck is. So, really one of my dreams, we're based here in Las Vegas, right? My dreams is to take up massive billboard space inside of the Las Vegas airport, because I think we do 2 billion travelers, I don't know, monthly or something, right? If I can hit people coming into Vegas and then going back to Panama City, going back to LA, going back to, we'll get there one day where we have that kind of marketing budget. But I mean, it's so easy if we can just put people everywhere with the app and then let those food trucks be discovered as new businesses.
Whenever I talk to new folks, I recommend that they get on the Food Finder app because it gives them that opportunity, like you mentioned, for other people to be discovered, other food trucks to be discovered. So it makes perfect sense, what you're doing there. Tell me some success stories that you have.
If I could add, like, when I first started this, I had some food truckers that would join WTF and then say, oh, well, should I stop Instagram? Should I stop Facebook? Should I cancel my account on Street Food Finder or whatever it is, right? Like, no. I mean, use every platform that you can. I would love it to say we are the one and only platform that you need. But like when we do our advertisements, I don't only advertise on Instagram. I use Pinterest and Reddit and everywhere. Use everything at your disposal. So if you're on WTF, take the 5 seconds, mark open on WTF, but then do it everywhere else. Post it on Facebook, post it on Instagram, like still tell everybody, because you'll have users and customers that prefer Facebook and don't want to download a Food Truck Finder app, or maybe they love the Food Truck Finder app and only use Facebook at night when they're going to bed. Use everything at your disposal.
Absolutely. Like you mentioned, most of it can be scheduled or it only takes seconds. It's just a matter of getting yourself in that habit of doing it. But you don't ever want to say, okay, I've made it, so now I don't have to do Twitter, or don't have to do Instagram. If those are the things that got you to the party, you got to keep doing them. You never want to stop doing them. And once you get on, WTF, you got to make it work. You got to run with it and keep going. Hopefully you never feel like you made it. You can't rest on your laurels. So anyway, share some success stories, some of the food truckers that you're aware of that have got on your platform and just love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love this story about the Gulfport, Biloxi area. We had a food truck, King's Wings. Guy asked me, this is years ago. He said, hey, can I use this out here? And I said, well, yeah, we don't have anybody out there using it, but go for it. It's an app. It works anywhere. And he said he would post for about the first 2 or 3 months regularly, just, telling people, download the app. Here's where I am. Download the app. And on his Facebook, social, everywhere, he's saying, hey, we're on WTF. And he said after about that 3rd month, he would mark open, and within 15, 20 minutes, he'd get a line at his window. I love hearing that. We've got a couple of food trucks now there that all do that. They're marking open pretty regularly. One here not here. So I think they're in Colorado Springs or Denver. Empana Pizza. It's like empanadas and pizza all rolled into one. They mark open and post deals, daily specials, and upcoming events enough that I look at their impact, and they're hitting like mostly over 30,000 users every month. 30,000 people that are right there within, a couple of miles of them right when they're open. That's really what makes me smile. Most of our vendors across the country in our target markets, they'll hit anywhere from 100 to typically 800-900 users when they mark open. It's a big range there, but it depends on where you are in town and where our customer base is. Even in smaller cities, like I'm sure Dothan, and we got some new food trucks in Sumter, South Carolina, they mark open, they're still hitting 20, 30, 40 nearby customers. Those are 40 people that otherwise didn't know that you were open at that moment. I love this. I've been working on this forever. We added this feature where you mark open and then we tell everybody, we calculate how many nearby users we just told that you're open, and then we push that back to you. So you'll get within 2 or 3 minutes of marking open, your own push notification on the vendor app that says, hey, you reached 30 nearby users. Hey, you reached 100. Hey, you reached 1,000 customers by doing that. And I love that immediate feedback. You go, wow, that really did something right now.
And that gives an opportunity for the food truck owner to actually see what the impact is. Because they can, if they're experimental like I would be, there would be days I wouldn't do the push notification just to see how that's different than the days that I do have the active notification. What's the range around your food truck that people would get that notification?
So for the free members, when you mark open, it goes to a 5-mile radius. I figure within 5 miles, those are the customers that are probably likely to get off their couch and drive to you if they're in you. especially if you're a new business to them. They don't know really who you are, but they like food trucks. All right, I'll spend 5, 10, 15 minutes in my car, come check you out. If you're posting a deal, daily special, or event, that goes out to 25 miles. In most cities, that's, from top to bottom, left to right, the entire city, everybody in town that's on the app. And for that, I figure if you're posting a deal or daily special, it's lasting all day, might be even all week. If you got an event, it's this coming weekend. So if we tell somebody right now, hey, something's coming up this weekend, or you have a daily special all week, this is your special, they can plan on that. And if they happen to be in your part of town, later today or tomorrow, they, you've already put your brand into their mind. Oh yeah, like I see them now on the side of the road, and I saw them earlier in a push notification, and I saw what they have, what their menu items are. Oh, they look great. I'm going to stop. And the deals daily specials, that extra range, that extra reach to more users, that's part of the paid Premier membership. So we give you a bigger user base, add to your success.
So if somebody as a guest has downloaded the guest version and they're outside of that diameter or that range, whichever range it is, and they drive into it, do they get a notification then?
No, only if they're there when you mark open.
Okay.
We don't, for like battery and security purposes, right? If we're tracking everybody's location all the time, one, it'd kill your phone faster than Pokemon Go used to,
Right.
And then two, like, the apps, Apple App Store and Google Play, they just don't allow app developers like us to track where you are at all times. I don't want to know where you are at all times. I just want to know, like, when you're looking for a food truck, where are you, so that I can tell you, who's nearby.
Right. Just out of curiosity, a truck that has different day parts where they close and maybe move, can they have multiple openings within the same day then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can not. So we have like ice cream vendors, and I got a candy food truck that moves around like an ice cream food truck does, right?
Right.
And when they're driving from neighborhood to neighborhood, they'll mark open, they'll mark closed, they'll mark open, they'll mark closed. I mean, they might be doing it 20 times in a day, going from neighborhood to neighborhood, selling coffee, ice cream, whatever. So yeah, there's no limit on that.
Because there are a number of trucks around here that will have lunch in one, small city and then go to another city and have dinner. So it'll work multiple times. That's good to know. And it makes sense, I reckon, for those.
Yeah, you want food trucks using the app because we're spending money to acquire users onto the platform to give food trucks customers. If those users, like we pay, it typically costs us anywhere from $1 to $4 for a new user acquisition onto our app. I spend that kind of money and then they don't have a food truck to find, they're gone. 30 seconds. First time they open the app, there isn't anybody nearby, poof, they're gone. So we want food trucks to use the app, even free, right? It benefits us because it benefits our customers and what we're spending money on to get customers. And, we haven't spoken about mobile ordering. And if we could real briefly,
go ahead.
Mobile ordering, we have it integrated, completely integrated and synced with Square, which is one of the more popular POS systems. We don't charge anything to the food trucks to incorporate mobile ordering into our app. When a vendor marks open on our platform, mobile ordering is automatically turned on. So as soon as you're open, we're sending out that push notification, bringing in more customers. And if they're sitting at home on their couch right now, they can easily place their order. And then you're making the order, you've got the payment, you have everything you need from that. And then you just say, hey, your order's ready. Now they're dressed and ready to leave the house, right? They come by, they grab it. There's no line. There's no questions about what your menu is. Can you do this? Can you do that? They modify it all right through there. And I mean, we want to drive more sales to you. And that's how we do it. Completely synced, right? There isn't a second platform to add your menu to. Me personally, I'll even optimize, review, give you feedback on your Square POS for free. I want to make sure that it looks good. We got pictures, descriptions, your prices are right, modifiers, tax rates. I find that a lot of food truck operators sometimes forget their tax rates or haven't updated it. I have saved thousands of dollars for operators in the past, catching little things like that, just trying to help them set up mobile ordering.
I think you're right. The sales tax is confusing enough already, and the fact that we can move makes it more confusing.
Yeah.
As far as a guest, they have the app downloaded and they go to place an order. Is there a cost to them?
Yep. So a user of our app, they pay 99 cents as a convenience to place their order ahead.
Which really is nominal fee. It's not like it's $2 and $3 like some of them charge.
Yeah. And there's no change to your pricing. So we don't take your menu and sync it and then add, penny orders or whatever. Like whatever your pricing is your pricing. We're very clear and transparent with the user. Like, hey, if you want to skip that line, you want to place your order from your couch, it's 99 cents. Office complexes too. Like if you're out for lunch at office complexes, you mark open, those employees only have like a 30-minute lunch break, right? Nobody wants to stand in line or wait 20 minutes or 15 minutes, however quick you can get your food out. Nobody wants to waste their time waiting for their food. If they can place their order from their desk as they're typing away, they get the update, oh, my food's ready, cool. Clock out, go get your food. Now you got a full 30-minute break.
It definitely has to be focused on the guest and the end user, and that certainly sounds like what you're doing. You're making it a convenience for the guest, but then also for the food truck owner. And that's exactly what food truck owners need when it comes to these types of apps. It's been great talking to you today, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk with you.
Absolutely, Bill. I mean, I appreciate your having us on the podcast. Sounds great. Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.